Hi there, and welcome to this bonus episode of the Gazette's Hockey Inside Out show. I'm Stu Cowan of the Gazette, and I'm joined by former Canadiens teammates and 1986 Stanley Cup champs Rick Green and Sergio Momesso. Rick, Nick Suzuki's off to another good start this season, basically a point per game pace, playing lots of minutes. What do you like the most about the way he plays the game?
He's an honest, hardworking kid that just shows up every game and every shift, and it's not a fluke because he does have the skills in order to produce a point a game, and he continues to get better. A young guy that's finding his way in the NHL and very, very productive, and he's solid. I mean, he doesn't get hurt. He's around traffic, and every time he's on the ice, I think he brings something, and he is a threat. And he's kind of a quiet, silent leader, and shows a lot of things through example. But he's a great kid that he's a young guy, and he just keeps getting better every year, and his production seems to be consistent. So he's a great player, and a great captain that's showing the way each and every night.
I know, Sergio, you spent a few years there traveling with the team. You probably got an even better look at Suzuki both on and off the ice. What do you like about him the most as a player?
Well, I think Rick said it. He's a quiet leader. He's not a rah-rah guy, and he leads by his play. And being captain for Montreal Canadiens, as we know, it's not an easy thing. And when he has to answer the questions after games when they are not playing well, it's not easy, and he has to also show up and do the things on the ice besides handling the burden on his shoulders. And I think he has done a good job of that. We saw how others struggled with that position. It's not everybody that, you just want to go out there and play. There's the money involved, but there's also pride. And I think he has that in him. I don't think he's one that has to come out and say a lot of things in the dressing room, but when he does, I'm sure people listen because he leads by example, and I know that the players respect him, and I think the people around the media and I think the fans realize that as well, and I think collectively for this team to succeed, he needs to be surrounded by more of those guys and we talked about Laine coming back into the mix, and the help that they need, that it can't just be Suzuki and Caulfield to get all the goals and points, because other teams can focus on one line. So, but I think he's handled it well, and I think he's fit well as a leader here in Montreal. There's no question about it. I speak to a lot of people that have season tickets, and Nick Suzuki is definitely not. If there's anything going wrong with the team, he's not the problem.
No, he's as you say, honest hockey player. Right? I love the way there's no wasted movement with him, right? Like he doesn't waste effort. He anticipates plays almost like he has eyes in the back of his head at times, and stronger than people realize. Also, Rick, actually, I'll ask both of you guys. Rick first, does he remind you of any guys you played with or against during your careers?
You mentioned about Suzuki's strength and his solid ability on the ice, tough to move. Like I remember Steen in Winnipeg. I think it was Thomas Steen. Mm-hmm. This guy couldn't move him. Just solid. You couldn't move him off the puck. And Suzuki, I look at him and I go, geez, this guy, people bounce off him. Very seldom do you see him getting knocked down. And he battles and wins a lot of battles for loose pucks. So these are assets that are you either have it or you don't. And he has it, and he shows it. And obviously a huge bonus to have a guy like that in your lineup.
Yeah, he's got a lot of strength, lower body. Sergio, you remind you of any guys you played with during your career?
Well, when you look at, like a star player, let's say they're very skillful and we know that they're good offensively. And but for Nick, I've noticed that he really, puts in the effort to try to mimic himself to maybe somebody. I think he's one of the best two-way forwards now in the league, and that's what he wants to be. And we knew that Bergeron in Boston was one of the best. Krejci, who was his second guy there, not the same player, but together having a 1-2 punch, Boston was so lethal down the middle. I don't know. I'm looking at my time, and there was a lot of tough little buggers. There's no question. Theo Fleury, I would say that for a small guy who was a tough little guy, he played a different game, but he was always yakking it in your face. But for a small guy, in our time, in those days, you had to be tough. You had to. I played with Cliff Ronning, who wasn't a big guy. Obviously, a skilled guy, but I look back at the time when we played in our era, and I have to give it to those guys because it wasn't easy for them. And, so they get knocked down, they come back. And that's what I like about Nick. He if he does get, someone takes a run at him, he'll take a run back. Whether it be right away or a shift later, he'll remember that. And I like that about him. And you can tell right there, he has the character. He's not going to just get pushed around, even from a bigger guy.
Yeah, I think the Canadiens made a good decision when they gave him made him the youngest captain in Canadiens history at age 23. Anyway, that's it for this Hockey Inside Out Show bonus episode. I hope you all enjoyed it. Please make sure you like and subscribe to the Hockey Inside Out YouTube channel. Go to MontrealGazette.com/newsletters to sign up for the Hockey Inside Out newsletter. And of course, you can go to the Montreal Gazette website every day where you will get all the latest Canadiens news. Also, if you have a bonus question you'd like us to answer in an upcoming episode, please put it in the comment section below.